So the role of TV in marketing mix continues to expand and broaden from the traditional reach element and being able to convey emotion in a rich format, where it's now adding data and the ability to connect it with other media. So it begins to flow more broadly throughout campaigns and how they drive results. So that's the evolution.
And what do you think is particularly unique about TV?
First and foremost, the format, right? So the ability to deliver emotion, but you can also drive results related to that. It's ubiquity when you think about connected TV. I would say that those two together, and increasingly having more and more data to connect the dots with performance, those things make it very unique. Well, interoperability, massive word, and the whole ecosystem, all the way from operators to advertisers on the other end, need to connect, and they need to connect better. End of the day, as those things happen, there's going to be less friction in how it's bought and sold, and as a result of that, on the sell side, you will see more revenue, more growth, and on the buy side, you will see the kinds of results without all of the friction of having to buy separately. So, everyone needs to contribute to it, ranging from testing new measurement frameworks to connecting data as much as possible, to also connecting how household addressable is bought and sold relative to the rest of advanced TV across every way that it's delivered. So there's quite a bit to do, but the promise is amazing.
And who do you, you mentioned this a little bit, but who needs to push for what? What is the role of the advertiser in pushing things forward, the programmer, the publisher, the technology companies?
So when you think about the advertisers, they need to continue to demand that interoperability. They need to continue to demand the ability to plan, measure, and activate with consistent data, with consistent standards, because ultimately that's where the whole money from the industry starts. I think that technology providers have a lot of work to do to connect that, to enable it, to develop new methodologies, to connect the data. And then on the operator and content owner side, it's about allowing for that and adopting those technologies. And in many cases, there's legacy systems that need to be modernized. There's a bunch of work that needs to happen. But once again, the reward is there.
That's what I was wondering. I was sort of thinking about whether the will is actually there. So let's imagine we lived in a world where we fixed all these problems. We standardize, we scale up. What do you think the promise is of addressable for advertisers? And then what do you think the benefits are for networks and programmers? You talked about it a little bit, but let's dig into it. What does great mean for an advertiser, and then what does it mean for a publisher or a platform?
Yeah, so great for an advertiser is the ability to seamlessly activate campaigns in a host of different formats in household addressable and to connect that with the rest of their campaigns. Think customer journey and being able to do that across pretty much every medium, every channel, every format, with household addressable being an integral part of that. And by being able to do that with consistent data and measurement, it's one plan, it's one strategy, it's one view of the customer, and that's great. When you think about the networks, the cable operators, the programmers, end of the day, it's greater growth, right? It's the ability to connect with potentially a lot more demand than they have been able to connect with to date. And that's awesome from a growth standpoint. So better utilization of the inventory, creativity, relevance to their own consumers, all of that is what they look for.
We can dare to dream. The work is being done.
Yeah.
So major media owners are going beyond traditional pods with the rise of CTV and streaming. What opportunities do DTC streaming services present to enhance the ad experience? What are the opportunities for format innovation?
So there's a lot of opportunity for format innovation beyond the traditional ad pod. There's been a lot of experimentation with native formats. Think, brand placement in the experience, shoppable formats. So, we're only beginning. You can transcend from the screen into virtual experiences. There's a lot. It's very exciting.
I totally agree. I'm so excited for innovation in that space, honestly. Consumer experience needs to matter, right?
Yeah.
We have to grow as consumers grow and evolve. So programmatic platforms and the growing data enablement of TV inventory are both huge opportunities. How can these things help to grow the market and better deliver for advertisers?
So when you think about it from an advertiser perspective, this is allowing them to reduce that friction and to plan, buy, measure using consistent data across the board. So that's very, very significant. It makes it easier to really trust that you're delivering meaningful experiences to your consumers across the different media, and in particular within connected TV, household addressable, and the broader TV. And similarly, for the operators, for the programmers, that allows for better utilization of their inventory and better relevance to their end consumers, better ads. So both benefit, and again, the ability to do that programmatically in an omni-channel fashion means that you're bringing together what, say, an advertiser who's used to mobile buying or who's used to traditional digital video buying, connect the dots and do that with household addressable.
How far do you think we are from that sort of omni-channel programmatic vision?
Well, coincidentally, today we announced a partnership with DIRECTV where Yahoo is going to be the exclusive DSP for DIRECTV's household addressable supply, together with FiOS and DISH that are already there. That's 25 million households together, on top of, you know, a significant pool of supply in the tens and tens of millions, close to 100 million of connected TVs. So when you think about that, it's heading in that direction. It's already reducing that friction. But, you know, as we discussed previously, there's a lot of work to do, particularly on the data front.